Moha Mudgaram. Something that crushes the moha, that crushes the delusion. So when we say something that crushes delusion, it's all about removal of the vyamoha. Though we say crushing the delusion, we should understand that the central idea of this composition is all about know your true self. Know your true self, and you give a new sense to your life by knowing the true self. This is the central idea of Bhajagovindam. And Bhashakaran uses different scenarios or circumstances here. These circumstances or these scenarios are mainly used to trigger what? Trigger a kind of effortless detachment in us. Kind of an effortless detachment in us. From what? From the unreal aspects, where we feel that those are real. So, detach from those unreal, because those unreal attributes are creating sorrows and pains in us. So, detach from those unreal which are causing pains or sorrows and discover what is real. Because ultimately we all are looking for dukkha nivarti and paramananda prapti in life. Always need to be happy, and we should not get into any troubles in life. These are the two core aspects of human, right? We don't want to get into any issues and always need to be happy. And what we are trying to do, we are trying to depend on the world, and we are thinking that the world is real. When I say the world includes your own body, your own mind, your own capabilities, your own skills, your own acquaintances, your own possessions, your own identities that created, so called as the assumed identities or personalities. But what happens? They all are giving sorrows and pains in some or other way. So, the Athyandika Dukkha Nivritti and the Paramananda Prapti, that will come only through the real, which is permanent. Because we are all looking for the permanent happiness in life, right? So the objects cannot be permanent, and objects cannot give permanent happiness. So the permanent is you. And that permanent is the embodiment of the completeness, embodiment of everything. That is why it's called as Purnam, embodiment of wholesomeness in life. So, what Bhajagovindam is telling us is to know your true self, and you give a new sense to your life. By knowing the true self, what is happening ultimately, you are also empowering yourself to face the ups and downs in life. Because when you interact with the world will give you the challenges. When you interact with a vastu, when you interact with an object, obviously the object will also try to give something favorable or unfavorable to yourself. So that is where we have to get empowered to face the ups and downs in life. How? By knowing true self. See, in this context, let me bring the verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Arjuna was thoroughly confused, and ultimately does the surrender to Bhagavan Krishna, that I cannot proceed with this war because I am in a state of Vishada. I am in a state of complete delusion. So Bhagavan Krishna's teachings start with the verse number 14 in the Sankhya Yoga, second chapter. Bhagavan says that Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada. So, hey Arjuna, understand that these dvandam, these dualities are quite common in life. And they are agama, payino, anitya, tantidikshasva bharata. And please understand that those things, those situations will just come and stay for a very short time and it will go also. And they all are anitya. So what you should do? You should have titiksha, hey Bharata. So here Bhagavan Bhashyagaran says same thing. The cause of our bondage and sufferings are from the worldly objects. So what we need to do is just endure it. A brave endurance is needed. Fundamentally, if you see the problems of our life, problems are mainly due to the bondage and the associated sufferings out of the bondage. And if you look at in a very logical way, if you are able to identify the root cause of a problem, the effects cannot stay. The effects cannot sustain. You all know that you all are working as professionals in different areas, right? We all deal with this kind of root cause analysis or identifying the symptoms, right? Who are in the medical field, you all know this. So when we identify the root cause of anything, the effects cannot, and if you work on that root cause in terms of rectifying, the effects cannot sustain. For the effects to be removed, one should know the root cause. So similarly, the root cause of our sufferings in life is all about the ignorance. The ignorance of our true reality, that is the only problem here. And what is ignorance? Ignorance about the true reality and the consequent misconceptions or misapprehensions. So what is the remedy? Remedy is all about know the true self, so that all the problems of misconceptions or misapprehensions will go away. And that is the only way to eliminate the cause of our sorrows in life. So the only problem is basically when we operate from the plane of egocentricity or ego orientation. That is all about you building an individuality. This is a superficial layer. What happens actually? Ultimately, the mind is creating the egocentric perceptions or egocentric individualities. Tadwara, due to that, we ourselves are becoming the victims of stresses and tensions. Because these all are the right word is the perceptions created by the mind, the different layers which are formed by the mind. That is why the term egocentricity is coming. You create different layers. I am the one who is doing this. Due to me it is happening. Without me how it will happen? Right? These are the unwanted perceptions that we create. But when we come to know the truth, our own reality is what? Am I the mind? Then you will understand that this mind is creating the entire illusory world. And where is the mind? Mind is revolving around the substratum, around our true self. So the implication here is the mind is creating the different appearances. Mind is perceiving different things and create different perceptions, different identity formations. You might have seen the mirage, the Maru Marijika, right? The kind of appearance of water. And why it happens? Basically it's due to the properties of the light, especially the refraction. So what happens when you look at the top of a road? You can see two layers of air. One is the hot layer and the other one is a cold layer, right? Because road and the ground probably will be in different temperature conditions. So that is where that illusory appearance or effect of water comes there. And when we go near to that place, we assume that, let me go near to the water. What happens? So we cannot see any water there. Water is not a reality there, right? This is just a kind of optical or an illusory concept, correct? Similarly, the worldly problems, you call your own problems in life. Who created these problems? Tell me. The problems are created by your own mind. And again, the problems are created by your own mind out of the delusion, out of the false perception. Be it the dvandam that Bhagavan says in this slogan. All the dvandam, all the likes and dislikes, or the imaginations or expectations that mind is keeping, or the whims and fancies. See, we ourselves keep these things in life, right? It should be like this, it should be like that, this is the way that I want things to happen in life. If something favorable happens, you will be happy, and if something unfavorable happens, you will be sad, and you will try to deal with that. You will spend energy, and you will also create imaginations in life, and you will also have expectations, right? And if you see the reality versus expectations, will they match in life always or not? They cannot match. So who created these different dvandam in life? Likes, dislikes, happy, sorrow, or the imaginations, expectations, and the reality, all are created by whom? All are the products of our own minds. So Arjuna, Bhagavan says, Agama paino anityatam titikshusya bharata. So please ensure that you are having the capacity to endure everything, endure all the dvandva, all the sorrows or sufferings or whatever perceptions this mind is created. And it should be what? It should be without struggling. Without struggling for, chasing or taking revenge. And you be always free from the anxiety. Or lament over them, right? Don't chase by having a kind of a revenge mentality. You just endure it. You need to have the stamina. It doesn't mean that you have to compromise in life. This is the great wisdom Bhagavan gave to Arjuna. You build this stamina in life. You build this capability of tidiksha. Acharya Swami again says in Viveka Chudamani that Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvagam chinta vilaparehidam sa tidiksha nigadyade. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvagam. So don't go with a kind of reactive way to deal the dvandvam in life. Chinta vilaparehidam sa titiksha nigadyade. So just endure it. This is the kind of a stamina, I would say a spiritual stamina that is really needed. This is the kind of a boldness that we all need in life. And again, this is not an illogical boldness that one should have, because the problem is the stupidity of the mind. The stupidity of the mind is creating the different perceptions. And we are suffering. So that is where the Kriti says, you come out of the ignorance. World of our experience is due to the ignorance of the facts. And this ignorance creates the different false perceptions and negativities in our minds. What happens ultimately? Leading to experience a world of imaginary sorrows and joys. So the mind is the culprit here. The mind is projecting this dvandvam, the entire world of illusion. Or even our various identities. I am the father of so and so, and I am the owner of this company. I am so and so. I am rich. I am very affluent. I do have power. I have capabilities. I have people. I have different roles in my life, and I do have great relationships with everything. These all are needed at the plane of transactions. But sit back and observe your mind. What is beyond the mind? Also, what is enabling the mind to have the thoughts? Pradasmarami hridi samsviradatma tattvam. What is beyond the mind? What is enabling this mind to have these thoughts? What is enabling the mind to create the superficial dvandvam or these dualities in life? Go to the root. Find out the root cause of existence of the mind. Go to your essence. And that essence is the eternal one, the I, the self. Atma Tattvam, which is ever effulging our own consciousness. And that can never be absent. So hold on to this truth. My true nature is this reality, and that can never be absent. That is eternal. That is the embodiment of everything. That is the root cause of everything to function, including the mind, including the body, including the senses. Hold on to this permanent truth. And in this truth, in this permanent thing, every changes happen. And those changes are happening around you. You are not changing. And you are identifying with the changing things and feeling that I am affected. You have drifted from the center and you are identifying yourself with the changing objects. Come on, you are the truth. You are the changeless. You have drifted. This is the problem. This is the ignorance. And you are this Tvam. You are this truth. You are the embodiment of truth. Tattvamasi. Hold on to the inner core. Hridi samsvarad atma tattvam. Ramana Bhagavan says, Hridaya kuhara madhye kevalam brahma matram hi aham aham iti sakshat atma rupena bhati. You are the root, you are the source of happiness, you are the source of existence. Kevalam brahma matram hridaya kuhara madhye. And that is where you feel your own existence. Aham aham iti sakshat atma rupena bhati. You destroy the delusion that is created by the mind. Bhajagovindam again says, life is truly yours. You are the one who can design your life. You are the one who can help yourself in your life. You have the potential. You have everything within you. You ignite your life. You take charge of your life. Life is truly yours. So now the situation, let me use a different analogy here. You might have seen the trees. Sometimes, I have seen during my boyhood days, especially the young days, where we have got a lot of mango trees, and all of a sudden some mango trees are attacked by the parasites, the small plants that gets deep rooted into the trees, and ultimately dwindling the growth of the mango trees. You might have seen, right? So how one should deal when a parasitic attack happens on a tree? What a farmer will do, or what the owner will do?
Pluck it at an early stage.
Yeah. So pluck it, that is the only thing. Remove the parasites. And sometimes, cut down the unnecessary burden of the branches, right? Unnecessary burden of the branches. You trim it. You pluck the parasites, you ensure that this is parasitic free. Cut down the unnecessary burdens of different branches which are not giving to, enable the growth. And you will also go to the soil, lose the soil at the roots. Give fresh soil or fresh food, nourish the tree with that. Ultimately, what happens? You are redeeming it, or maybe you will also trim it. Unwanted things are removed. You are redeeming it. You are revitalizing the plant. You are revitalizing the tree. Similarly, we all have to redeem. We have to revitalize ourselves. So here, The Vedanta says, recognize the truth within. It is already there. Nothing needs to be brought from outside. You just recognize the truth. You find the source of living within you. The source of living is within you. That is the biggest happiness you should have in life. Remove the ignorance of the mind. Remove the delusions of the mind. And you experience the bliss of what? Bliss of your true nature. And it is within you. You don't need to get anything from outside. See that perfection within you. Rather than, imagining about the things, rather than imagining the happiness, or rather than imagining the superficial things that you feel, from them the happiness will come. Or specific things, sometimes from the objects or beings or situations. You yourself is the source of living. You yourself is the source of happiness. You don't need to create specific or superficial things for you to be happy. With this knowledge only you need to train the mind. Train our mind to recognize the strength within. Train our mind to create the inner confidence within. The inner power that we all have. It is not something new that you have to try out and to get from outside. Bhajagovindam again says, you need to have confidence in your power that is within you. And that only will bring change in all of us. That only will bring change in you as an individual. Otherwise, what happens? The mind will go with all these tendencies which are there, and with these normal mundane things of the comparisons, contrasting with different things. Again, defining what is joy, what is sorrow, what is the ideal thing, what I am looking, what is perfection and all. These all are the creations by the mind, without knowing the reality and without knowing the inner source of everything that is there within us. So only problem is the ignorance. So the root cause of ignorance will come to an end when we realize, when we come to know that, and when we abide in that truth, and that is within you. And all the world of pluralities that are created by the mind, and it is out of the illusion. And where the mind is residing on this substratum of the truth. That is where the unwanted perception formation happens with this mind. You just uncover the mind and go to the reality. So you come out of the false perceptions and do the bhajana of the Govinda. That is what Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhajamudhamade. That is how the Acharya Swami starts the Kriti with. You come out of the delusion. Hey Moodha, come out of the delusion. Right? You have done enough of going through the superficial waves of joy and sorrow. Now you come to know what is permanent, and that is Govinda. And you do the bhajana of the Govinda. You have Govinda in all your thoughts. And that Govinda is your own true nature. Now you do introspection and allow you to grow in life. Now let us start with the verse. I think up till 5 we covered in the last session. I think sixth one, verse number 6 of Bhajagovindam. Yavat pavano nivasadi dehe tavat pruchadi kushalam gehe gadavadi vayau deha paye bharya bibhyadi tasmin kaye Bhajagovindam Harya Bibhrudi Tasmin Kaya Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhajamudhamade. So here Yavat Pavano Nivasadi Gehe. Here the mention is for how long the body has got Jivan. Tavat gehe kushalam prichhadi. So till that time, people will be interacting with you. People will be inquiring about your whereabouts. Deha paye vayo gadavadi. So once the prana goes from the body, tasmin kaye bharya. So even the wife will be afraid of the dead body of the husband. When the soul departs and the body falls, dies, the mention is even one's wife is afraid of the dead body of the corpse, right? See that body. Don't take the literal meaning of wife having fear of husband's body and all. See, this is the reality of human beings, right? When the body is not having this intelligence, that is where in Tamil we say Sattu Poi. Sat is not there, the truth is not there, the reality is not there. Who will love their dead body? So then our thinking will be there is to get rid of the dead body as early as possible. So here the point is, as long as the breath of life is there, people will appreciate, people will come and go, they will seek things from us, people will come and surround us. But the departure of life changes the whole sense. So that is where they want to get rid of the dead body as soon as possible. So here the point is, if there is no intelligence in that body, one should understand that the body is not useful. The body was useful up till this point. So it is not to make us scary here. One should understand that this body is given as a best instrument to all of us, right? Your individual body is given as a best instrument. So what one has to do, one should make the best out of that body. Best out of that body meaning best out of your life. And what is that best out of life here means? It is all about realizing the self, realizing the true self. The body has no value. It is matter, right? So here, body without the prana, without the jiva is all about no value without the intelligence there. You must be remembering the Chatusloki Bhagavatam. Bhagavan Sarva Bhudanam Adhyaksho Avastidobha. The Lord residing in all of us as the Adhyakshan. Sarva Bhudanam Adhyaksho Avastidobha. Or in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan again says in the 9th chapter, Rajavidya Rajaguhi Yogam, I am the Adhyakshan. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyade Sajarajaram. Hetuna Anena Kaunteya Jagat viparivartate. And everybody works under my direction. All beings operate with me or operate basis on me. So one should understand the profound truth within us and also know the limitations of the material objects that we deal with, including what? Including the body that you have, including the mind, including the intellect, including the sense, including the skills, including the capabilities, including the possessions, including the relationships. Don't allow the mind to worry about those daily worldly things. Use this body. Know the reality. That is where again Bhagavan says in the Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Know the Kshetrajnan, the inner essence. And the Kshetram, the body is to realize the Kshetrajnan. That is where Bhagavan in the 18th chapter says, Ishvara Sarvabhudanam Vriddeshe Arjuna Dishtadi. You realize the inner essence. You see me in you, Arjuna. Ramayan Sarvabhudani Yandra Rudhani Maya. But the beings are not able to understand due to the Maya, due to the illusion, due to the illusion created by the mind. In fact, mind is under the clutch of Maya. Verse number 7. This is very famous. Balastavat krida sakta tarunastavat taruni rakta vriddhastavat chintamagna parame brahmani kopina lagna Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Balastavat krida sakta. So when as a child, the child is pretty much absorbed in the play. And when you are in the tarunastavat taruni rakta. So here we need to understand in the youth, again the attraction with the opposite sex. And vriddhastavat chindavagna, when you reach to the state of, the old state, or maybe you can say when you reach the state of maturity or degrowth or decay, because the body is also undergoing changes. All parinamams happen in the body also. At the old age, as an old man, what happens? One is pretty much lost in the worrying thoughts. What will happen? Who will take care of me? What will I do with the money? Will I get complete safety, security? Who will take care of me? If I don't have money, what will happen to me? Where will I be? Where should I settle? So, at each and every stage of our life, we are having different dominant things. As a child, absorbed in play; as a youth, attracted to the opposite sex; and as a professional, you are always worrying about the job. Right? What will I do? Where will I settle? How will I reach the top position? And all these Bhagavad Gita and Satsangs and these all things can happen after 65, after my retirement. And as an old man again, we will start worrying. What will I do? I met one person recently, and he is going to retire, and I asked. It's not. I really meant that. What will he do after the retirement? So I was checking with him, like, what are your plans after you leave the organization? Oh no, I will never retire in my life, and I will think about what will I do. It's all about worrying about thoughts. So Bhashyaran says Parame Brahmani Kopina, like alas, no one is attracted to the Supreme. So what is happening is basically, though there is a sarcasm here, this is a reality, because nobody is having time to deeply reflect upon the self, nobody is having time to meditate, nobody is having time to contemplate, nobody is having time for your own personal growth. We all are trapped in the world of object. So here, it doesn't mean that you need to be always with the subject, but please understand that Jagat is all about world is all about the objects and the distractions coming from the objects. So that is where the importance of subject should also be realized. Pravritti nivritti dividohi vedokto dharma pravritti lakshana nivritti lakshana. Pravritti and nivritti. Nivritti should also be known. Nivritti is all about knowing the subject, gaining the power from within, the inner power, inner source of power as the as the source of energy, source of everything. You depend upon that subject, depend upon the inner reality. Don't depend upon the objects and the Jagat. So Jagat to Ishvara Pradhana, that is what the mention is all about. You should also connect continuously with the Ishvara, with the Lord, with the God. And that God is not different from your inner self. So busy with the worldly affairs, right? That is what we all are in. But don't forget to connect with this Supreme, to connect with this core. And it is not something that you need to get from outside. Only thing is, this sloka is remembering or triggering us to don't forget the aim in life. What is the aim in life? The aim in life is to realize the truth within, the God within. Only if you understand this, the aim of human life. That's what Bhagavan Ramakrishna says. The truth is within you, and the aim of human life is to realize. Only if you will do this. Aham Brahmasmi, realization of that. Verse number 8. Ka te kanta kaste putra samsaro yamadiva vichitra kasya tvam ka kuta ayatha tattvam chintaya tadiha bhrata. So here, ka te kanta kaste putra. So here the question is all about who is your wife, who is your son, right? But the identities that you have created. So before I explain more, the verse basically says one should use the discriminative intelligence in life, the Viveka Buddhi in life. Viveka Buddhi is all about knowing the Nitya Anitya Vastu in this world. Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekam. So Kate Kanda, who is your wife? Let us go one more level deeper. When you say I am so and so, you will address yourself with your name. I am person so and so, X or Y. Who gave this name? So your existence came after this name is given or not? And again, the relationships that you have. I am the son of so and so, I am the wife of so and so, or I am the husband of so and so. Are these identities define you? Or by just using one of the identities, can one define you? So, Kate Kanda, who is your wife? Kaste Putra, who is your son? Samsaroyam Ativa Vichitra. The world is very strange. Tvam Kasya. Kasya Tvam. Who are you now? Kuta Ayada. From where you came? Bhrada Tadiha Chintaya Tattvam. Bhrada Tat Tattvam Iha Chintaya. Hey Bhrada, hey brother, think of this truth here. Ponder over this truth here. These all are the identities that are created at the plane of transactions. And what is permanent? Will these identities remain forever? Be it your professional or the kind of designations or the roles or the kind of jobs that you have in life. These all will cease at some point of time. The relationships also, right? The people are around you are changing. Your possessions are changing. What is now important may not become important after some time. So one should understand what is permanent in life and what is impermanent. It doesn't mean that impermanent meaning you need to run away. Impermanent are at the plane of transactions and those will undergo changes. But your dependence should be on the permanent. So that is where the Viveka Buddhi, Vivekam and the Vairagyam, the dispassion. Discrimination is needed, and out of discrimination, dispassion should come. Discrimination to what? Discrimination to the Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vivekam. What is permanent, what is impermanent in life. So now attachment to the unreal should go or move towards attachment to the real. So these earthly ties are transitory. Today they seem to be all, and you see this is the end of everything. I am the head of this family and without me nothing should happen, and everybody is dependent on me. These are some of the kind of identities that you have created. These are transitory. These ties are transitory. Tomorrow it can vanish. So your real tie is with the Supreme Govinda. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, and that Govinda is within you. It is not asking to run away from the duty. When you say who is your, who are you, what is the relationship that you have with the family, it doesn't mean that those are not real and you need to run away. No, do your duty, serve the family, take the best or give the best care to the people who are dependent. Also you ensure that you have a bigger goal in life. What is that? You realize yourself, the truth within. This we call as Ishvara Sakshatkaram or Atma Sakshatkaram or God realization or finding the inner freedom within. Mukti, moksha, the inner freedom. Verse number 9, very, very important verse. Satsangatve Nisangatvam Nisangatve Nirmohatvam Nirmohatve Nischalatattvam Nischalatatve Jivan Mukti Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Sat Sangate Nisangatvam. From the company of good and holy people, From the Satsangam to Nissangam, develop the state of non-attachment or Nisangatvam. And from Nisangatvam, Nisangatve Nirmohatvam, from the state of non-attachment, the state of freedom from delusion, Nirmohatvam, the freedom from delusion, and this will lead to Nirmohatve Nischalatattvam. This leads to a state of Nischalatattvam, the tranquility of the mind. And that tranquility of the mind, Nischalatattve Jivan Mukti, this will lead to this will lead one to attain the state of freedom in life. So this is all about a ladder which enables us to get uplifted in life. Ladder of upliftment. What is the ladder? Satsangam to Nisangam to Nirmohatvam to Nischalatattvam to the Jivan Mukti. The method of upliftment or the ladder of upliftment in us. And this is happening through generations. Don't feel that this is something new, or all of a sudden Acharya Swami says that this is the the way forward. This is the proven path of the transmission of the knowledge through generations, through many centuries. That's where Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogam, Bhagavan says, Imam Vivasvade Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. Vivaswan Manave, right? Imam Vivasvade Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. Vivaswan Manave Praha Manirikshwagave Abravit Evam Parambara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Vidu Sakale Neha Mahada Yogo Nashtak Parantava. So this culture, this samskaram to realizing this truth, that sort of thing got lost. The yogam got lost. This the right culture got lost in the due course of time, hey Arjuna. Sakale neha mahada yogo nashta parandava. So this got lost, and again I will help you out to understand and bring that thing back. But there is no new knowledge, because I gave this to Vivaswan, right? Vivaswan manave praha manirikshwagave abravit, and again all Rajarshis used, they depended upon this truth, they depended upon this knowledge. So what is needed? Satsanga Yogam is needed. Satsanga Bhagyam is needed. What is that about? It is all about being in the company of good people. Good people meaning including the scriptural studies, including the Vedanta Sravana, Manana, Dhyanam. That will help us to equip with this true knowledge. So practically, Satsanga only helps us to understand the Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vivek. What is permanent in life, what is not permanent in life. So only through Satsangam, Nisangam, Nirmohatvam, Nischalatattvam, the freedom that we all seek in life, so called as the Mukti. So equip with a tranquil mind and come out of the clutch of the illusion or delusion, the Maya. So meditate Govinda, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, with a tranquil mind and attain the freedom. So this freedom is all about freedom to come out of loss, gains, birth, death, ignorance, and also understand the transitory nature of the world. So the path of growth, the path of freedom is the Satsangam. And if you remember the verse from the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says a path of degradation also, the Chudi there, right? Thyayado Vishayan Pumsa Sangastesho Vajayade Sangat Samjayade Kamat Krodho Bhijayade Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranasya. See, basically, there the degradation happens when one starts looking only at the object of senses and creating an attachment, then the desire, and if you don't get the anger, then the state of delusion, the state of confused memory, and ultimately, enabling to the ruin of reasoning and a person's chudi, perish. So here Acharya Swami says about the path of growth. Satsanga bhagyam, satsangate nisangatvam, nisangate nirmohatvam, nirmohate nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivanmukti. So meditate, be in the company of good people, so that system equips you with the true knowledge and enable you to grow in life, have this right culture, the good samskara in us. With that, we will stop here. I will take some questions at the end. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmana va Prakriti Svabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sagalam Parasmai Narayanaye Samarpayami. Sarvam Narayanaye Samarpayami. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.